All right, welcome back, guys. This is a Gigabyte Esports Land. I am Doa. With me is Zoya, and we are about to move into what's probably going to be a pretty cool PvP. It's going to be between MVP Tails and SlayerS Alicia, and the players are ready to go. And I'm just going to double check here. Yeah, the game is starting. And there they go. They're spamming like crazy. It's going to be PvP. The first map is going to be Daybreak. And both of these guys appear to be moving on in their group anyway. This is for seeding. This is for prestige.
Yeah. This is not just a game you want to toss right, because like you said, it is for seeding.
Yeah.
The better you do in your group, the better spot you'll get in the tournament. And of course, Korean players are always very prideful, so they never want to lose a match in general.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, let's go ahead and introduce the players. Down in the bottom left, in the red, from the team SlayerS, we have not short stuff, although he's a little bit short in real life. He's not too short, but we know him as SlayerS Alicia. And in the top right part of the map, in the yellow, or I guess that's orange, from the team MVP, we have Tails.
You know, he's Tails. He likes, Sonic the Hedgehog, that Tails.
That's right.
His hair is orange. He picks the color orange in game. It's always been his style. I like Tails. He plays in the Play 'em daily a lot, the thing I cast, and he's a good player. He gets to the finals all the time. He takes out people like Dream, who's doing very well this tournament. I haven't casted PvP in a while, so I don't know how it's going to stack up against Alicia.
Yeah, I mean, PvP is always one of those matchups that's kind of constantly evolving as well. I mean, especially after the nerfs to the 4-gate style and everything, people have been trying a lot of different things. A 2-gate robo expand has been really popular in PvP lately. Blink builds are still very prevalent. We even see some throwback 1-base Colossus builds every once in a while, and the odd, DT rush. What I was really looking for, and we're not going to see it this game, but it's a build I really like in PvP right now, is that really fast 11-gate into 3-gate pressure. It hits about the same time as a 4-gate does. Hits very, very hard as well. It was really popular for a while in the Korean server. Oz was doing it quite a bit, but not going to see that this game. But worth mentioning as well when you're talking about popular openings right now in PvP.
And like you said, PvP is always evolving. It's constantly changing. New metas are coming out. Phoenix are always in and out of this matchup. Everyone is just attempting to find a style they're comfortable with that they can constantly do. But with the evolving matchup, with evolving matches, I mean, one month this style could be really good, and the next month, whatever they're doing could be completely blind countering it. We do see a single gas from Alicia, no double gas from the Tails just yet as well. Just both players playing this pretty normal.
Yep. I mean, there's only so much you can really do to variate things in the, I don't even know if that's a word, variate things, but you know what I mean. There's only so much you can do to really change things up in the very early game. We've got a second gas coming down for Alicia right now, and there's a second being taken by Tails at the same time. And I mean, every Protoss player right now will get a second gas, even if they're planning on 4-gating. They still get that second gas to give the illusion of going for something possibly a little bit different here, but I've got a feeling both of these players are going to be going ahead and using that second gas and not just kind of faking things. Second gateway out right now for Alicia, so he's going to be going for what appears to be that 3-stalker opening. Still kind of waiting a little bit to see what Tails is up to.
3-stalker opening has been just a standard in this matchup for a very long time. It was originally used to delay the 4-gate. You snipe their initial units, do as much damage as possible, especially if they're skipping that early zealot. If you go for the fast 3-stalkers, you can do even more damage to them. And like you said, Tails not really showing anything. No tech just yet. Didn't get that faster second gate. Everything looking pretty okay.
Yep, that's right. Second gateway finishing
Twilight Council
now, and Twilight Council for Tails before his second and third gateways. Interesting. Okay, so this is, most likely going to be Blink. There's the off chance that DTs might enter the mix, but the thing is that gas didn't really come early enough, I think, for Dark Templar, so it probably is going to be Blink. And there is gateways number 2 and 3. There it is. Yep. And so Tails moving into a fairly common build. Oh, Alicia getting his Twilight Council as well, but a little bit later.
It's all going to come down to timing now. If Tails is doing a timing with his Blink push, he's going to have an advantage over Alicia. It all depends on these little timings. This is also that can be a problem with this build of the 3-stalker rush. And actually, whoa, we are seeing DTs.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. This is almost, I mean, DTs are so rare right now in this matchup that I kind of almost discount them especially with that little bit later gas, but that actually timed out quite nicely. But now we have a situation where it's going to be a Blink build versus a DT build, unless Alicia goes for like a crazy late Dark Shrine here. I mean, he has, oh my gosh, Alicia going for the Dark Shrine as well. What is this crazy world we live in, Zoya? This makes no sense.
This is, I mean, like you said, DTs had died off even before the Observer buff. They made it 10 seconds faster. That helped out a lot in this matchup, but they're both going Dark Shrine right now.
Yes,
this is kind of ridiculous, and we saw a little engagement there. Alicia was able to overwhelm Tails just for a moment, but he didn't actually push into the main base, was not confident in that, didn't want to risk it, and he didn't get to see the Dark Shrine. And is there a probe on the map for Tails? I don't believe so.
I don't think so. He doesn't have a forward pylon out at his opponent's base, but here's the thing. Tails looks like he's going to actually expand, and he's got units more or less blocking his ramp right now. Yeah, getting Blink as well, and there's the expansion for both players. What is this? A DT expand for both players? This is just insane. I mean, I know I say the word insane a lot, but I mean, this is
ridiculous.
Genuinely insane.
This is ridiculous. They're both going for this. I don't know how much damage can be done. Neither player have a robo started at all. Now, Tails does have the faster DT. It is slowly moving its way across the map. It's at that halfway point right now. No, still, like I said, no robo facility for either player.
This is going to get so
luckily,
interesting.
Tails, if he gets into the main base, where is that DT shrine located? So he might scout it fast if he goes straight for that mineral rhine, and if he does see it, he can get the robo up in time for him.
That's
but there's actually a proxy pylon here for Alicia.
Oh, and look at this nice block on the wall. Oh, but he just powers his way right through that sentry. And now there's a DT in the main of one player. The DT at Tails' ramp. Oh, now he has to cut his way through the stalkers. A force field trapping the DT for just a moment here. What is going on? DT's killing stuff left and right. There is a robo on the way, a little bit quicker for Tails.
There's not one for Alicia at all. I don't know what he's doing. He's just
doesn't have enough.
He just might die here. Now, there are two DTs here for Alicia trying to plow their way through here, but the robotics facility is a little more than, or about to be halfway done. If he can scout that, where's that play? Oh, that's such beautiful placement of that robotics facility.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be really tough for the DTs to get in there.
Oh,
it's been canceled. What? Canceling the gateways as well. What is going on here? Both players deciding just to kind of fight things out. I mean, Tails, yeah, he does have the supply lead. I mean, he's got the worker lead as well.
Oh, my God, the probes.
I know. The probes actually for Alicia coming out as well. I don't know how we're going to decide who wins what here, because at the end of the day, we're going to have DTs searching for buildings out on around the map. I mean, here's the thing. Alicia building a Robo Bay right now, if that gets up, that could certainly end the game. Tails just making more Dark Templar. If Alicia can get in and kill off the Nexus of Tails, that's going to be the best thing for him to do. It's going to let him track down Tails' buildings faster. But I've never seen a game like this before.
This is, my mind is blown. Supply 13 to 18. If you look at that income tab, Alicia has 1 probe, Tails having 8, and they're moving across the map. They might actually see this robo, and
you know what? Alicia just barely has enough for an observer right now. But if Tails scouts it, it still may die before it comes out. Yeah, okay, so it looks like Alicia is, well, he needs to focus down that Nexus. He really does. That's going to be his best bet to make sure that he's going to kind of take a victory here. He's getting his observer right now. I have no idea why Tails decided to cancel his robo, but I guess he's just going to let Alicia win game 1, apparently.
Yes, that is looking like what it's going to be, though. I don't, there's no way.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, does Alicia have enough units to kill off the DTs of Tails?
It doesn't matter because he's got the DTs of his own, and his DT sees Tails' DTs.
That's absolutely true. I've never really had to think of things in those terms before. But
this is a weird game, man.
Why not? 5 DTs
there's
for
one
Tails
DT
to
dying.
3, 4. Yep, and Alicia starting to pick off those DTs now. This
game is so bizarre, and we see the second DT getting seen by Alicia, and 10 supply to 10 supply. That one's gonna fall.
I've never seen DTs fight DTs before. There's a GG from Tails, and a crazy game 1 in this PvP. Wow, so that's what happens when you go Dark Templar Expand versus Dark Templar Expand. I was wondering about that. Now, the thing is both of these players had an idea that the other were going DTs. They both blocked their ramps initially, even before they saw any DTs moving around on the map. So they both kind of had an idea about what was going on, but the responses from both players were very different. Obviously, Tails getting his robot a little bit quicker, but then canceling it for some reason. I think there must have been something that I missed there, because I wonder if we went back and watched if Tails maybe didn't have enough gas for some reason for an observer. I don't know.
Oh, no, he canceled the robotics facility in 2 gateways.
In 2 gateways, yeah. I think it must have been a mistake.
It had to. I don't see any logical reason as to why that could have happened like that. Even if you were short on gas, you could have thrown every probe in the gas and gotten enough out for that observer. The positioning of that robo was very well placed. It was walled off by the gateways. It was safe. Force fields could have kept it alive even longer. That was a weird game.
Yeah, DTs versus DTs. Okay. Well, now we know.
Yeah, now we know. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, guys, and then we're going to go into Game 2. It's going to be Tails' map choice.
Yep.
So we're watching the Gigabyte Esports LAN. This is the main stage here of Stream A. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gigabyte Esports LAN. We're going to go into Game 2 here. The map choice from Tails is Antigua Shipyard.
Yep, that is right. The players are ready, so the game is beginning here. Antigua Shipyard, like you said, is the map. And in the lobby there, Tails just a moment ago said, "Where Robo?" So obviously an accident. He didn't know he canceled it.
Oh my.
And that's a tough way to lose a Game 1. But you know what? Game 2 has begun now, and go ahead and introduce our players, Zoya.
Spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map as the blue Protoss from the team MVP, currently down 0-1, but he's qualified for the championship bracket. We have Tails. And his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner of the map from Team SlayerS, second place runner-up at MLG, we have Alicia.
Yep, that's right. Everybody waiting to see if he's going to repeat his great performance at MLG over the weekend here, and so far he's doing great. Both of these guys number 1 and 2 in their group, so definitely going on to that main tournament tomorrow. And, you know, we kind of saw what was kind of interesting between Ryung and Clyde was that they didn't seem to be playing quite as seriously. There was a little bit of cheesy play and everything like that. And you have to kind of keep in mind at this point, the players know that they're going on to that elimination tournament tomorrow. They know that the seeding is really all that's on the line at this point. And so they're not going to really show everything they've got. They need to be careful about what they reveal in terms of build to their opponents at this point, because there's a good chance they're going to run into them again tomorrow.
That is a very good point, though. These guys, like you said, they are secured in this tournament. And, yeah, you might want to hide stuff. I mean, this is for a lot of money. Yep. And a lot of these guys here need a big win. I mean, most of these Koreans here, they're very good, but they're not, Code S winners. They're not, top tier Code A. They except for Ryung, who's a Code S player. Right. They need a win, and what better than winning here? I mean, they've got a great chance. Yep,
that's right. And I mean, they still do want to win, obviously, but they want to win in a way that reveals as little about their play to their opponents. So we've got a very interesting situation here. I mean, a lot of people will be like, oh, these are just throwaway games or whatever, but I find these games actually to be very interesting. Because what do you do in a situation where you want to win, but you don't really want to show your opponent too much about what you were planning if it came down to a really important PvP? Obviously, then we do see things like DT builds come in, crazy games like we saw last time. And what are we going to see this time from both of our players? Pretty standard stuff so far. Gonna have to wait a little bit longer, I think.
Yeah, usually we don't see anything until the second gas is taken, what timing it is, how many guys they put in gas. Sometimes in PvP we see the 2 guys in each gas, a lot of different builds. Until we actually see that tech, until we see the additional gateways, we don't know. It looks like Tails is going to be going with a three-stalker opener this time.
Yep, that's right. There's a second gas taken by Tails right now as well. did want to get that second gateway out before that second gas. Decided to use the minerals on that first, and that Stalker opening is definitely a good thing to do. I mean, it lets you get that map control early on, good against the off chance that your opponent is going to 4-gate you, of course. But, I mean, who really knows what to expect? I think on this build, though, that you can kind of assume that one player is going to go for Blink. It's such a great map for Blink play that you almost kind of expect it out of at least one of the players.
The Blink Robo build is very popular right now, especially on the NA ladder. We're seeing a lot of the Protoss players doing this in not just this matchup, but as well as PvT. There's such a wide area you can use the Observer to blink into the main base here, also to harass the natural base as well. It's a pretty solid build. Both players going for that 3-Stalker rush. Not too big of a deal there. It's a fairly standard opener. It's been like that for a while.
Yeah. Now there is a little bit more Chrono Boost being saved up for Alicia than it is for Tails right now. So I've got a feeling we're going to see a little bit quicker of some warp gate pressure. In fact, we may just go ahead and see some 2-gate pressure going into an expand from Alicia. Oh, never mind. There's a robotics there, so it will be 2-gate robo. A lot of times you will see players put a little bit of pressure on with this, but it's not going to be anything too ridiculously heavy.
Yep, both players going for that robo.
Yeah.
Ooh, Twilight Council from Tails, so that's what we were talking about, that Blink robo play.
Yep, that's right. Pylon over on the corner of his base to allow him to warp guys in outside of his main. And will we see a Robo, or Twilight rather, from Alicia? I think we are just going to see an expand from him. I mean, 2-gate Robo, if there is a standard to expanding in PvP, it certainly would be that build.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see the Stalkers cleaning up the middle of the map. Alicia does see the 2 Stalkers pushing forward. Probe on its way as well. Twilight Council and Robo finishing up relatively the same time. Going to see the Observer come out. Going to see that Blink started up right away as well. Tails actually queuing up 2 Observers. Cancels one of them, though.
Yep, and there's a 3rd gateway and a robotics bay from Alicia. Ooh. So we are going to actually see some 1-base Colossus play instead of an expand. Interesting. Okay. I like the order of the buildings, too. I mean, this is a situation where if Tails ran in and scouted it before now, he would think it was probably an expand. But, you know, maybe you could tell a little bit from the Chrono Boost, but overall, the way that Alicia did this build is a bit deceptive. I like it quite a bit, and it could work okay. I mean, the thing is that Tails is just going to be so much more mobile with his Blink Stalker play, so Alicia's going to need to be very careful about that.
And Alicia's been cutting a good amount of corners. He's just now warping in units. Finally, he's got the Stalker, he's got the Sentry, just now warped in another Stalker and Zealot. The timing of this Blink push is going to be a little bit quicker now. He will have that first Immortal out. There it is in the middle line. He hasn't started that Colossus just yet. Should be seeing that right away. And it should be eventually. We'll see it eventually.
Oh,
there it goes. And Blink's halfway done as well.
And here's the thing. I mean, like he said, this attack from Tails is going to hit very, very soon, and if it hits before that Colossus comes out, Alicia might just plain get overpowered. Even with 1 Immortal out there, the ability that Tails is going to have to blink into the main, Alicia, though, his one chance here is to kill the Observer, and his own Observer is flying out right now. It's going to get taken out by Tails. Oh, huge mistake by Alicia. Not really, I suppose, more of a mistake, more than just kind of rotten timing, unfortunately. And Tails,
so close to finishing.
It's a good army for Alicia. In fact, yeah, he's going to actually be able to hold.
Yes.
Yep, barely having enough units here to scare Tails into not being too aggressive right now.
And we do see that Tails is just going to try and contain at this point. He is expanding at the current moment. He's still warping in Stalkers. We do have that first Colossus out as well. No additional structures being built from the robotics, so he had to get out another Observer. He needs to have that map vision. And also try and snipe the Observer from Tails. If he can prevent that blink into his main base, he'll be in an excellent spot. Yeah,
Tails made a good decision there to expand as well. I mean, he knew that he wasn't going to be able to go all in and win the game right there. So why not put some pressure on his opponent's base, contain just a little bit. Oh, his Observer almost got taken out there. Having to take a little bit of damage on those Stalkers, losing 1 in fact, but all in all preventing Alicia from getting that expansion down. He just needs to delay a little bit and work on his own defensive army, because Alicia, once the second, it's going to be once the second Colossus, if it does come out, then that would be about the time to push, but Alicia not going with the second Colossus right now.
He is extremely gas-starved at the moment, up to 150. He's up to 400 minerals. We might see him expend. Nice snipe at this pylon, just picking off anything you can right now.
Might as well.
Tails has to be just as annoying as possible. This army in a straight-up fight should beat him, so he has to just, buy time as much as possible. A probe does sneak by, though. Gets onto the map for Alicia. We'll have to see what he wants to do with that.
Well, he could decide to, warp stuff in and do a little bit of scouting with it here. I mean, it looks like it will be, never mind, taken out by those Stalkers. Yep, definitely going to lose that there. Alicia's kind of trapped in his base right now. I mean, he can choose to move up, but if he does, that's basically saying, oh, I want a base trade with you.
One of the observers got sniped there. Tails losing one. Very well played there from Alicia. I believe he's got another one someplace. I think I saw... Yes, he's got another observer on the map. I don't know where it is, though. Up there.
It's just to the left of the main, yeah. Yeah, that's where it is. So, Alicia trying to maybe get to the point where he feels comfortable expanding. I think that might not be a bad idea, just because he knows, oh wow, what was he doing at that Colossus? Just because he knows that, you know, he's going to have to accept a base trade if he decides to push. And will he do it? Will he decide to push? It looks like he's kind of setting up an expand here, unless he just wants to warp in a big round of units.
Would you see that he is filling a lot of gas? Tails is poking away at this army. There's only one Colossus here. We've got a lot of Metalworks in. Oh, Tails taking a little bit of damage there. Nothing but shields, though, so he does back off. And it looks like Alicia wants to push him back. Will he be expanding, or is he going to go for a one-base timing here? Oh, will we see the blink into the main? Oh,
there
my
he goes. And look at that. All these stalkers in the main base. A lot of SCVs, or probes, rather, being taken out by Tails and Alicia. Just going to go for it. Tails with some units at home. He already has 3 Immortals and a great army set up. Yeah, with the Stalkers coming back and flanking, he could definitely win. Alicia with a strong army, but will it be strong enough to win?
It's going to be close. This is a scary force from both people, but I think if Tails engages this right from the flank, oh, he might catch us Immortal here. That's a huge grab there for Tails. Oh, no. Nice force fields there. Trying to catch some units. Good micro from Alicia backing off. Good blink forward. This is going to be close.
Alicia's got a strong army, but Tails seems to maybe have a slightly stronger one. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 2 Immortals to 3 Immortals. There's the blink in to try to target the Colossus. They have to make a little bit of a run for it. But Tails able to chase his opponent across the map, and now Alicia is in a very difficult spot. He knows he's really behind right now. He needs to win the game right now, or just GG, and so we may see sort of a final desperation push here from Alicia, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to have the luxury of expanding in this particular game against Tails.
The power hitting units here are 4 Immortals, 4 Tails, only 1 Colossus, 1 Immortal for Alicia, so, I mean, Tails is up on that count, the Stalker count 8 to 6, he's up on everything. Tails trying to do a cute little flank here from up on the high ground, but Alicia does scout for it.
Yep, looks like those Stalkers will have to make a run for it. There they go. And so Alicia separating the army just a little bit, but yeah, now 5 Immortals out for Tails is not going to be a problem. They are going to absolutely insta-give all the Stalkers in Alicia's army, and I think this has got to be it.
Yeah, this is just too many Immortals. It's just completely overpowered. Stalkers finally blinking. There's the GG from Alicia. Oh, wow, this is just... What an amazing game there. Tails played that perfectly. Alicia tried to do a nice little timing there. He was pushed Tails back, but the blink into the main base forced Alicia going all in, and from there, I mean, he was we weren't pointing it out, but he was macroing back home so well. He had the Immortals out and a very strong army back home.
Well, I mean, he got the Observer in Alicia's base. He saw that the macro is good, that it was going to be 1 base Colossus. He's like, all right, there's really no reason for me to really push the agenda here. No reason to try to warp in, or a blink in rather, and try to end the game. I can take my expansion, force him to make that hard decision if, you know, whether he wants to move out and try to force a base trade with that army, or if he wants to just kind of sit back and try to expand himself, which then it'd be difficult because he'd have to go into a very even fight at that point. So, you know, Tails just had Alicia in a great spot right from the beginning of the game, and now we're all tied up, 1-1.
Yes, we're going to go to an ace match here, but before that, we're going to go a quick commercial break. Big shout out to our sponsor, Gigabyte, Kingston HyperX, and Cooler Masters, those 3 making this event possible. We also have lots of other sponsors as well. Don't have the Wikipedia page, but it's a lot of them, man. I don't think I've ever seen that many sponsors.
It's a lot of support for esports.
But we'll be right back in just 60 seconds. Stay tuned, guys. We're going into the ace match here. We haven't seen too many of those. There's been a lot of 2-0s this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's been a day of 2-1s today. Yesterday was a lot of 2-0s, but today things are a lot closer. We're starting to see the pack kind of thin out a little bit. Both players are ready to go, and there it is. So good luck, have fun for our players. The map is going to be Entombed Valley, and a great choice, I think, by our Protoss players. I mean, it's going to be a cool map for PvP. Could certainly see a little bit longer one, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the longest game I've ever cast was an hour 40 minutes, and it was between a PvP, White Raw and Empire's Mista.
Wow, okay. Well, here we go in the bottom right. In the blue from the team SlayerS, we have Alicia losing the last game, but still 1-1 in the series, having a chance to take it against this guy in the red from the team MVP. He is Tails.
I'm going to ask you something, Doe. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay,
who's going to win Game 3?
Impossible to predict. It really is. I mean, Alicia's had such a strong run at MLG recently, but yet he's kind of not really been as successful as people really expected him to be in the individual leagues right now. Tails, you know, has had some amazing games. He's taken down some amazing players, but at the same time, he hasn't really had the results that I think a lot of people were expecting. So these are two players that show a ton of promise, but have not yet been able to really deliver consistently. So in light of that, I really don't know. I honestly can't tell you.
Doa giving the perfect answer possible to avoid any controversy. I like it, man.
Hooray.
I like it.
Oh, I love controversy, but I just don't. I don't know. Maybe the
it's
controversy is that I
gonna
can't
be hard.
decide.
It's going to be hard. I don't know who's going to win as well. I'm a Tails fan, but I mean, how can you not like Alicia? His run at MLG was just so inspiring, and we're going to have to see. And we do see standard gateway timings. None of that 11-gate fast 3-gate pressure. I haven't actually seen it personally when I'm casting, so I was kind of hoping to see it from one of these guys, but pretty standard play. Both of them get gassing at standard times. Alicia's just a little bit faster.
Yep. Now, we've talked about fast expand builds in the previous games. This is really the map where you tend to see it. You know, I mean, any other map out there, you can do it, right? But this is the map where you really tend to see it quite a bit. And look at this, an extremely fast second gas for for Alicia, rather. Yeah, getting that on 16.
Wow.
That's really fast. All right, so we'll have to wait and see what he uses for that. I mean, there's a number of options. Obviously, super quick blink play, Dark Templar yet again. A lot of mind games going on in this PvP.
2 DT games in one series,
would be interesting.
That would be very insane. We don't see any second gateways from either of these players. We do see that Tails has started that second gas as well. I'm curious, though, like you said, this fast gas from Alicia, what will he want to do with it? We haven't seen any Stargate play. This is going to be interesting positions if one of them decides to go for it. It is cross-map. Phoenix are pretty good on most maps, but this one, it might be interesting to see. And it also depends on what Tails decides to open up as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you always see 2 gas in this matchup, so it's you know, it's always going to be that. But it's where things go from there that's the real question. No sort of double stalker opening from either player this time around. So it is going to be something a little bit more tech aggressive. And the fact that we haven't really seen that second gateway leads me to believe that both of these players may actually be going for some one-base play. And look at that, Alicia getting the Stargate. Nice. So it's either going to be what is getting, it's picked up a little bit of steam, but you see it a lot on Ladder and Korea. It's actually the 4-gate Phoenix build.
Really?
A lot of players think it's quite strong. It hasn't really seen a lot of use in pro play. What's more likely, I think, here is going to be a Phoenix expand. And look at this. I can't believe it. Both players going for Stargate. What is going on?
Have you ever cast a Phoenix versus Phoenix game before?
I have. I feel like I must have at one point.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I don't know, man.
This is going to be fun.
So 3 gates Phoenix for Tails, and we have 2 gates and a Phoenix for Alicia. So yeah, it does look like Alicia thinking about expanding off of this, whereas Tails could be thinking about just trying to get in there and do a lot of damage with it instead.
Well, we'll have to see. Like you said, he does have the additional gates. Might be pressure. Not the 4-gate build. I really want to actually see this build. It sounds like it could be extremely powerful. Phoenix being able to pick up Immortals, Stalkers, all the heavy-hitting units where you just destroy them with the Zealots. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be primarily built up, is the Zealots, because it's so gas-intensive.
Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting because even if someone has the larger Phoenix count, they're not going to be able to utilize that to lift the units of their opponent's Gateway army, because then they'll lose their Phoenixes, right? So what this is going to come down to is Phoenixes just shooting each other and killing off probes here and there. But what's really going to matter is going to be the Gateway armies of both of these players. You know, at the end of the day, it's going to be the player with the stronger Gateway army initially that's going to win.
Oh, Phoenix saw each other.
That's right, and Tails going for a Robo as well. Interesting. So he could add on some Immortals out of this.
Alicia having the
What
higher
in the
Phoenix
world?
cows, able to win that initial engagement on the map. Both players still building Phoenix.
Okay.
This is cool.
And look at that. Yep, 2 more gateways from Alicia, so it will be 4-gate Phoenix. Cool. Especially, you know, when you see your opponent with Phoenixes as well, you have to prepare for the eventuality of 4-gate Phoenix from them as well. In fact, Tails canceling his Robo, and we might see a 4th gate out of him at the same time, because like I said, you know, in this situation, it's going to come down to the gateway units. That's why we see Alicia going for 4 gates. Tails only has 3, so could end up getting a little bit tricky for him depending on how the Phoenix battles go.
Well, Tails has completely stopped building Phoenix. He's down to 2. It's 2 versus 5. He's about to lose another one very quickly there. Oh man, nice grab there. He does see the Phoenix and Stalkers though. He has forced to pull back. Nice pickup on those Zealots, picking up more Stalkers as well. Alicia is just playing this so very well. He might lose a Phoenix though. He needs to micro that back. And it looks like it'll just barely fall back. Oh no, these sentries are very exposed as well. Yeah,
Alicia not controlling this as well as he could have. He does manage to kill the last Phoenix. Oh, almost, but doesn't. And Gateway versus Gateway Army with a couple key units lifted by Alicia, but does he have enough on the ground? I mean, like I said, the Phoenix is not having as much of an impact there with the warp in. Now Alicia finally able to force Tails back. Tails' 4th gateway is on the way as well, and he's going to have to play a great defensive game to hold off Alicia.
Do that units tab at 7 Stalkers, 4 Tails, 2 Stalkers for Alicia, 2 Zealots with the 2 Sentries, as well as 4 Phoenix. So right now, Tails has the higher Stalker count. If he micros this properly, it all comes out to those pickups, how he's going to handle that.
That's right, and here we go. The last Phoenix going down for Tails right now. Still only 1 remaining, I believe. Alicia trying to trap some of those units. He needs to keep his Phoenix alive, really, in this case, because if he can, you know, just simply lift half of the army, and that's what he's doing right now, suddenly he has a much stronger gateway force. Here comes Alicia right now, trying to end the game right here.
He still has plenty. Oh, he's actually out of energy to pick up here, so he cannot grab any more units. He's going to be picking off that unit from the low ground, using this high ground vision to his advantage. And the supply 56 to 45. Tails is building Zealots right now. It's going to be hard to hold this off. There's just so much here for Alicia right now.
Yeah, I mean, here's what you see is so deadly about the 4-gate Phoenix, is that not that the Phoenixes can kill off units necessarily, but that in a lot of these fights, they lift so many that you just have an overwhelming gateway army. Alicia trying to win this fight. The probes coming off the line for Tails, but Alicia, I think, doing irreversible damage here. Oh, you know what? There's actually units in Alicia's main as well. Oh, wow, the workers killed is basically even here.
This is kind of becoming a... And wow, is Alicia going back home?
Yeah, he actually forced him out with the probes. I can't believe this
Tails
is happening.
is up on probes, too. He's got a better economy. He might actually... Look at that units tab. It's 6 Stalkers, or 7 Stalkers, 3 Zealots for Tails. Only 2 Stalkers, a Sentry, and 4 Phoenix for Alicia. Tails might have somehow turned this around the win.
Units still doing damage in the main base of Alicia, too. He's killed nearly all the workers, down to just 9 probes is SlayerS Alicia, and there he does finally bring the Phoenixes home to try to take out the rest of those gateway units, but he just doesn't have the energy to lift a lot. There's still a Stalker for Tails in the main killing probes. Okay, now the probes finally revolt, do a little bit of damage to the Stalker themselves. There it is. Finally killed, and when the dust clears, we have a worker count of 18 to 8 with Tails in the lead. 38 supply to just 24, so Tails somehow coming back from the brink of disaster with that great sneaky warp into the main base of his opponent.
This is a crazy game. Now, we do see the Alicia is sending his Phoenix across the map. He's going to try and even the Harvester count there, but there's this huge Stalker force outside his door. There's only 2 sentries here. I think they have enough for only just that 1 force field.
That's it.
They should force the cancel on this pylon, though, and there it goes.
Yeah, it is canceled, but look at that army for Tails. I mean, he can literally just walk up that ramp whenever he wants to. I mean, even if that does get force fielded, yeah, he's still got so many units on the low ground that he can just force Alicia back. Force fields are not going to be an issue here. Does kill that 1 Stalker, but again, 43 supply to 25. Alicia just does not have the economy to hold this off.
We do see that Tails is going to try and break up there. Alicia's going to try and harass that mineral line. There's the GG.
Yep, that is it.
Wow. What a brilliant game there from Alicia.
No kidding.
Or from Tails. I mean, it was from both players, really.
It was going well. It was going well for Alicia, but that warp in from Tails, Alicia, you know, kind of getting a little bit too tunnel visioned on his opponent's base here, and he definitely paid for it. So, crazy PvP series here. I mean, we're seeing some weird games. Again, I think a lot of this is a lot of the reason we're seeing these kind of out there builds is because these players are playing for seeding. They still want to win, but at the same time, they don't really want to reveal any more than they absolutely have to their opponents at this point in the tournament. So a very interesting, calculated match from both players.
Yeah, it was a really great game. 3 great PvPs from 2 great players. Well played. I mean, so they're both still in the championship bracket. This doesn't change at all. They just get different seeding. Tails got to feel good after that. I mean, it's also, he just took out Alicia. I mean, that's got to feel good too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It always feels good to win a PvP against another talented Protoss player, and I think that's going to do it about for us right now. There's going to be more games coming up, so definitely don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and then we're going to have more action right here on the stream from the Gigabyte Esports LAN. We'll be right back.